Yeah, I think a lot of those guys that were on that intro beat Alabama, one or two of them. This guy did too. Cooper Mays joining us now, and wow, Cooper, I want to get right into it. Hit like, subscribe, and share. The Vol Report brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning. And Cooper, what an incredible win! Congratulations to you. That was absolutely unbelievable. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Definitely a memory of a lifetime. It still is like hasn't really, I don't know, just the whole experience is like a lot to take in. I don't know. It's weird. It's like it hasn't really fully hit me yet, but definitely like a top experience of my life.
Well, talk about where you were when the kick went through and you ended up winning the game, rose victorious. Chase McGrath with the game-winning kick. Just take me through those moments and what you actually experienced and what it felt like.
I was sitting there or standing there on the sideline, and I was basically shoulder to shoulder with my O line coach, Coach Ellerby, and um, basically we saw the kick go in, and I don't know if it was tipped or something, but it looked like it was tipped, and I was scared that it wasn't going to go in, and then it ended up getting called good, and Coach Ellerby like hugged my neck, and I was basically picking him up, and I think he was like crying a little bit. It was a crazy experience.
Well, that is absolutely phenomenal. Happy for you. Happy for this football team, and because you just come across as such great individuals. Also, the other thing I've noticed about you guys, more than just a football level, is the confidence you have in yourself. You told me a long time ago that you guys had belief in yourself. Now, on the outside looking in, I'm thinking that that's good, but to beat Florida, to beat Alabama, that's a hefty chore. With that confidence, how strong is it now?
Yeah, I think we're all very confident. I mean, I think we've talked about this before, the expecting to win thing. I think we've gotten to a point where, as a program, we expect to win every single game that we're in, no matter who the opponent is. So, um, I'd say confidence needs to be.
Will Anderson had 3 tackles in the game, and he was on my Heisman Trophy ballot. Was there a plan to stopping him, or did it just work out where you guys played him straight up and played him really well?
No, we slid away from him most of the game, believe it or not. We have a stud right tackle, like I said long ago, that he's as good as it gets in college football, and I think everybody's starting to see it. I told him months and months ago that there was games that he needed to circle on this, that he needed to go out there against, and um, that was basically Alabama, SU, and Florida were like some of the teams that I mentioned that they had really good edge rushers, and he's went out there against all those teams and had really good performances, and to basically be man blocking, like man on blocking by yourself with Will Anderson all game, and to not have a pressure or anything or a sack or anything, unreal.
Pretty strong, and you're talking about, Darnell Wright, who, a lot of people wondered why you would move him to the right side. Certainly makes sense now, especially what you've gotten out of the left tackle position. It's really been a group effort because when Mincy's been out, Jeremiah Crawford's been able to step in. As a whole, this offensive line isn't just a first string group. You guys are pretty deep, which is tough to do at this level.
Yeah, I mean we just have a really hard nosed mentality. There's a clip of JJ Crawford out there, and he was throwing up and then nodding at the D lineman, and he was smiling at him while he was doing it. It was just like kind of like the epitome of like what an offensive line is about, and just I love going into war with those guys. It's like the highlight of my life, damn near.
Please hit like, share, and subscribe. And I remind you that the Vol Report with Cooper Mays is brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning. Go to cityheatandair.com. So, uh, Coop, a couple of things that Hendon Hooker said after the game. He said that you're like his security detail and you're the front door. So, is that your new nickname, the front door, or how do the nicknames work out?
Man, I don't. Most people just rock with Coop. I guess that'll I just keep that one. I don't want to be any door. But yeah, I'm his guy. That's me for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That chemistry, we talk about chemistry between quarterbacks and receivers. We talk about chemistry in other places, chemistry even among the offensive line. But what's the chemistry like between you and Hooker? Because you handle a lot of the calls um, together, I would think, in alignment with one another.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a really good connection that me and Hendon have because, like I've said before, Hendon, the way he carries himself and how he handles himself, as a man and a leader of our group, anybody would go out there and want to fight for him. So, I'm that's my favorite person, my one of my favorite people on the team, and just going out there and being on the same page with him, just being able to fight for him, I love doing it.
What can you tell me about the exchange with Jabari Small and Hendon Hooker that led to the fumble? Was that do you have any idea what happened there?
Yeah, no, I really don't. I was just worried that I had a bad snap and ended up not being that, and then they told me that it was, stuff happens on the field. It's, bang bang stuff.
I think we lost you just a little bit. Can you repeat that last part, Cooper? I'm sorry about that.
No, yeah, for sure. Definitely did not know what happened. I was kind of worried that I had a bad snap, and then I saw what happened. I don't really know, what happened, but I'm sure they'll get a handle. I think it'll work itself out.
Talking to Jacob, he said that earlier today that he said maybe that's a point where a previous Tennessee football team is just like, oh, deflated and out of it. You guys didn't react like that at all. As a matter of fact, you reacted in a very positive way.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can tell that we love each other as a team, and we all have belief in each other, and we all have each other's back. So whatever happens on the field, it's a mistake. We put it behind us, and then we rally back and do what we do. And I think that's kind of been the epitome of our season is kind of just fighting through adversity.
As far as the atmosphere, I didn't think it could get one upped against anybody after the Florida game. But did you feel an extra ratchet up against Alabama?
Yeah, I think they said they broke the noise level or something. It was pretty crazy. Really, really an unreal experience. I've never been in a stadium that loud. I don't think in my life.
Did you know it showed up on the seismograph, like the Richter scale?
I saw that. I definitely saw that. It not surprising me because I think down there in LSU one year they did it, and if there was going to be a win that triggered the seismograph, it would be this one.
Yeah, certainly very impressive. So, um, wh- as far as the way that game unfolded, I'm watching at halftime. And I'm thinking this is not a Tennessee team that's lucking out and making big plays and getting fortunate. I thought you guys were really controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides. Can you kind of speak to the offensive side of that? Because it felt like to me that you guys were in control.
Yeah, I mean, I felt as if that was the case. Honestly, I think anytime we get rolling and can kind of get the defense going backwards, and our tempo doesn't get set in their right spots, get their perfect calls in, and their defense is always winded because there's nothing that you can do that can really replicate our tempo. So tired offense will beat tired defense every time, you know, and we're trained for this, and we're built for this. So it's just what we do. So I think we really did control it. I think we had a pretty good performance.
How comfortable are you when it comes to it wasn't a long extended 2-minute drill, but you did have to reel off a couple of really quick plays at the end. Given what you guys run, how comfortable are you doing that?
Yeah, I mean we run 2 minute every play, so it does. I mean, this is what we do. Like I said, we're built for this.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, Jalen Hyde, I think, just caught another touchdown pass on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Uh, how happy are you for that guy?
I like I said a little bit ago, I think a couple weeks ago on the show, he's really transformed himself as all around as a player and everything. And just seeing the fruits of that, you know, it's it's really special to see him because he's a guy that I came in with and we enrolled at the same time. And so just really amazing to see how far he's come.
I asked Jacob this too, but going into a game, do you guys have a feel for which of the receivers might have the most opportunities, or is it just purely a how the game unfolds thing?
Yeah, I mean, hey, I just do I just block. I don't know who's getting the ball. Half the time I don't know, so I don't really even know. So I mean, it works out how I don't know. I do know one. If I see Jalen, I know it's going to be a touchdown. If you rewind all those touchdowns, I guarantee you at least 4 out of 5 before the ball has been caught. I'm already holding up the touchdown signal. So that's all I'm going to say.
You're like the Lane Kiffin of Tennessee's offensive line. He does that too.
Yeah, I'm not going to leave in the middle of the night though.
That's right. No, you're not. Okay, so you're ranked 4 and 3 in the polls. How does that sound?
Sounds pretty good. I mean, there's more work to be done. I'm not going to read into all that stuff very much. Like I said, it's every week's a different ask, and we're just going to try to keep better.
Hendon Hooker shared that the goal was Atlanta. That goal's looking pretty realistic. Do you at all reset those goals of thinking, hey, more than that, or how do you view it?
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to win SEC championship, so that's always the goal and the standard when it comes to getting back to where the program needs to be. So yeah, I would say that's our goal for sure.
As far as UT Martin, I don't want to take anything away from them, but I would think it's a game that you guys should be able to win. What are the goals coming in to this week as far as getting better, improving, and what are some of the things that you want to do in addition to winning the game?
Yeah, like I said, just getting better each week, no matter what it comes to. Nothing really specific. Just you got to take each week and get better. And if you don't do that, you're not a championship level program. So it demands itself that you get better every week.
Just in terms of um, the hype around this team, I know you're good at uh, shielding yourself from it, having tunnel vision. How important is that moving forward for the entire team?
Yeah, I would say that's priority number one. I mean, you got to have a level head and even just a even look at everything. Can't really get too high and too low, and or else you'll kind of derail off the train tracks a little bit.
The Vol Report with Cooper Mays is brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning, cityheatandair.com. It's right there in North Knoxville. 50-mile radius. They will service you for your HVAC needs. And the great part about them is they're not going to come out and say, hey, you just need a $29.99 service call and charge you for a new HVAC unit. They are fantastic. Cooper's smiling at me, not because he's a big HVAC guy, but he likes when I do the commercial.
Huge HVAC guy.
Huge HVAC. You want to give a shout out to Jason down there at City Heat and Air?
Yeah, shout out Jason. Another huge HVAC guy.
That's right.
For the people, by the people.
That's right. That's an old Bobby Denton saying. I take that as a great compliment. Okay, so do you, as far as this point of the season, how do you feel? I don't want you to get any specifics or anything, but we talked about you being 10 pounds heavier. Do you feel better because of that weight than you did maybe this time last year? Because you worked hard in the off season to add the weight.
Yeah, right. I think the main thing is last year, and anytime you kind of get hurt early in the season, it's kind of just like a downhill slope because it's hard to get healthy while playing football and it still. Um, just being able to be healthy and remain, lifting everything and strong, it's made a lot of difference for sure.
I know you talked to your dad, you talked to your brother. who are some other people that you talked to after the game? Because it was a who's who. Al Wilson was there, Peyton Manning was there. I didn't see Theo Vaughn, but other than that, it was pretty much everybody. Who are some of the people you talked to after the game that you were able to soak it in with?
I honestly saw I had to like get up in the stands to walk back around because I couldn't get through all the people. I actually saw my high school O line coach, Justin Anderson. He was in the he was in the stands and he was running after me. He got me turned around and I was able to connect with him. Did I just cut out?
Just for a second, but you're just for a second, but you're good now. So you ran into your high school offensive line coach. How cool was that?
Yeah, it was a pretty cool experience. Definitely I haven't seen him in a while, so it was weird. There was a lot of people all in the stands yelling at me, and he was like he was yelling after me, and I was like I wasn't turning around at first, and he's like it's your coach Justin Anderson, and like he hugged me, and I got all flustered, and I was like oh my goodness, yeah, pretty cool experience.
Please like, subscribe, and share. The Vol Report with Cooper Mays is brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning. Go to cityheatandair.com. Coop, as far as as far as football memories, do, does this settle in? Does this? I mean, the what you guys have done, because I know you're thinking about the rest of the season, but has this really settled in? Because you know the history of this series, you know what's happened recently. Does it take time to settle in a win like this?
Yeah, I would say so. Um, it's really just we'll get in and watch the film, and we'll realize kind of what we did. Um, yeah, but no, it's such a huge experience. It's a lot to take in for sure.
You know, I love your dad to death. What did he have to say to you about this win?
Yeah, he just told me he was really proud of me. I don't think he ever beat Bama when he was um, at Tennessee, so I guess he finally got to smoke a cigar.
Did you smoke a cigar?
Yeah, I mean, I a little bit. I'm not big on that stuff. Not my gig. Kind of just made my. I don't know. It's just not my thing. No, not me.
Well, yeah, you guys, it's a little bit different from when your dad played. You and I'm not knocking that generation, but you guys push yourself to the physical limit and just do an absolutely fantastic job of having discipline, which I think a lot of people don't understand. And uh, not to say that about your dad, but there were a lot of gifted athletes back then that relied on just their gifts. You guys really take it to the next level in this generation that I've seen.
Yeah, no. I mean, everybody's different. I don't know. I mean, it kind of just depends on the person how much they take it serious. I've seen both sides of the story for sure. Some people can get away with living how they want to and being good and everything, but some people have to live right and do right. So it just depends on who you are, I guess.
So no matter what happens from this point forward in your career in the season, and you can say you beat Alabama. And is there any added value in the fact that, or gratification in the fact that you did it while Nick Saban's still there? I mean, it would be one thing if he retired and you beat him next year, or you beat Alabama next year, but is there some gratification there?
No, probably not. I mean, but he's one of the greatest coaches of all time for sure. So I guess that's one thing, but I wasn't really thinking about that. No, not till you just said that.
Hmm, it's pretty interesting. It was back in 2001 that Tennessee beat Florida with Steve Spurrier, and he retired shortly thereafter. So
Mhm.
it's the Vol Report brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning, cityheatandair.com. He's Cooper Mays. I'm Dave Hooker, a presentation of Off the